Even show that it's charging. It's weird. Very weird. First time, but we'll see. See how it goes. First time for everything. Yeah. Alright. Automatic sound. First time being on the radio?
Oh, yes.
Yeah! Alright. And when up on the mic, you want to be maybe a little bit closer. Yeah. And you can move this. Yeah. And we'll tilt it up. There we go. That's perfect. All right, 10 seconds.
Sorry, the look on your face is priceless.
And thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union, sponsor of the KRIM Community Spotlight Program. Good morning, everyone. Chris Higgins in the studio. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday, or as we like to say around here, Friday Eve. Beautiful day out there, so hopefully you can get outside and enjoy the weather today. Well, in the studio today, our guests are from the Payson Unified School District, and we have Lisa Evans, the Director of Special Services, and Jacqueline Shaw, the new school social worker, which it seems like there's a lot of excitement regarding having a social worker here at the school, so we're going to learn about that. And we have our intern, Ashland, in the studio. Good morning, Ashland.
Good morning, Chris.
I remembered you this morning.
I know.
That was
honored.
well, and it's the least I could do since it's your last day.
I know, I'm so sad.
Yeah, I know.
This is my favorite part of my whole senior year.
What?
Yeah.
Really? Coming in here?
Absolutely.
Oh, that is so good. I need to have a sound effect like Ron does, like it's so great to have you in here. It doesn't work.
Oh no.
What
That is
a bummer.
anticlimactic.
I know. I think I took the batteries out of that one, so
Were you tired of listening to it? Or
yeah,
what?
Ron, kept doing it, and there's no, there's no hand clapping. Yeah, there is. So having
thank
Ashland
you.
in here, yeah, but seeing you go, it's sad. So there you go. I know, but oh well. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's right.
So yeah, and we'll see you again. I know. So anyway.
Get rid of it.
Yeah. So, again, back to our guest, Lisa. Thank you so much for coming in. Before the program, you were sharing with me how excited you are and others in the school district to have a school social worker. And you were telling me this is the first time?
Yes, this is the first time that Payson Unified has had the opportunity to have a school social worker on our staff. We have always had some counselors at the high school, and we've been fortunate to be able to add counselors at some of our other schools. And of course, we have a couple of school psychologists that deal mostly with our special education students, but we've never had a school social worker. And so fortunately, this school year, Jacqueline's been with us since pretty much the beginning of the school year this year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We've been afforded the opportunity to have her join our staff. And we're just so excited because I feel like that she has been able to fill some gaps and provide some connections for our community and our students that we didn't have before.
Wow. So, yeah, that is great. So welcome.
Thank you.
And now, did you recently move to Payson as well?
No, I've been here about 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But just starting with the school district?
Yes, just starting with the school district this year.
Nice. And how's it going so far? How do you like it?
I love working for the school district. I love being around kids. I love working with families. The greatest part has been able to connect our families here in the community with all the resources that we have that are available that a lot of people don't know about. So that's been a big part that I think has been helpful for families.
Wow. The first time, I guess, without having this position before, how's it been? I guess, I could see some pluses because you get to build this program or this position and really address kind of the needs of all the schools.
Right. Some of the things that Jacqueline has really helped us with that have been phenomenal is just that because she's lived here for a few years and she already had some connections with agencies in our town and in our area because of other positions she's held. It's been really helpful for us because she kind of knows the ins and outs of those agencies. So when we have students that we have concerns about and their parents need some assistance with hooking up in the community, it's really been great for us to be able to call Jacqueline and say, Jacqueline, this student we would really like to hook them up with Southwest Behavioral. They have this insurance, or they don't have that insurance. Can you call over there and see what's available? Can you make sure this parent gets an appointment? Can you do those things? And those are not things that we haven't tried to do as a school over the years, but like that's a lot. That's like, we need somebody that just does that, right, in order to really get it done right. And so I'd say that's been great, that is her role, is to help us with that. And plus she has great connections already to many of our agencies, and so that's really nice too, because it just makes it a little bit smoother for our families.
I think for the first time this year, we were able to tap into the Children's Behavioral Health Service Fund, which covers, so it's always been available, but we've just never been able to use it. So for the first time, any families who are not able to pay for services, or underinsured, or just insurance isn't covering it all, if a simple referral will cover all behavioral health services through Southwest and CBI here, which also has new programs for kids and teens. So that's been a cool part for a lot of families that have said, I don't want to do that, I can't afford it, I don't have insurance, or whatever the case is. So
and that's possible with having you in that position, having, like you said, Lisa, somebody in that position full time
To
make the connections, and to have time to go after those grants, that money, to because as you said, if it's just been kind of something that other people in the district have been tasked with, can you look into this? Can you maybe do something with this, or try and do something in this area? I know it's a case where everyone in the school district, everyone's doing so much that you really can't just throw something this significant onto someone's plate and say, oh, by the way, provide these services, or get this done as well.
Right, that's exactly right. So it's just been great, and plus Jacqueline's had the opportunity to work with some of our students and do some, short-term kinds of plans with them to just make them more successful, whether it be with attendance, or you can speak to the things.
I have been doing a lot of crisis response lately, getting them stabilized, and whatever that situation might look like at the time. But at least it's not taking from the principal and the guidance counselors that they're not having to leave their positions. So it's good to just show up like, okay, we have a child in crisis, and handle the situation so it doesn't disrupt the whole campus.
Yes, yeah. And so you work on at all the schools.
Yes.
So you can be at PES.
Yep.
One day or part of the day, and then at the high school as well, responding to something at the high school.
Yep, absolutely.
Has that been a challenge? Have you found that to be a challenge, working with all the different age groups of children?
No, not at all.
No? No. It seems, so it's basically the same, you're providing the same services regardless of the age. And it might, vary a little bit as far as the issues or the problems or things you're looking at. But
yes, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, no, that is, it's great to have somebody in that position. And like you said, to take that responsibility off of different administrators so they can focus on, and department heads. I imagine you have a full plate, Lisa, and everything that you're doing as Director of Special Services. So this has probably freed you up to pay attention.
Well, and it's not even so much about being freed up. It's about having a system in place that gets our students what we need, right? So it kind of takes away from that. Well, we have this student, they have this problem. Do they have any special education services? Do they not? Do we know if they have this? Do we know if they have that? And it's great to be able to say to my team of teachers and psychologists, okay, this is what we know, and to be able to call Jacqueline and say, Jacqueline, can you check on these other 3 things for me, right? So then when we come together as a team, we really have cohesive information about how we're going to support that student, instead of it kind of being piecemealed to me. It's not that we still wouldn't get it, it's just that I feel like we're getting it in a more efficient manner, and we actually kind of are putting, because Jacqueline's new, we're learning as we go, but we're putting together together procedures to ensure that that happens every time for every student, so that we're not missing things, we're not having issues or kids fall through the cracks, right? So it just shores up our ability to really meet the needs of our students more effectively and efficiently.
Oh, that is great. And you mentioned funds or different money that's available. Was that something that was more of a challenge you found to get, or was it just?
No, well, I mean, we had to develop the policy in order to be able to access the funds and then work with our local agencies on how they wanted the referral system to come through. But once that's in place, it's really simple now. Yeah, it's just a simple referral sheet from me, and it's all good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. And so what are some of the organizations that you work with, if you can share, different local organizations?
Sure, yeah, we work with Southwest Behavioral Health, and CBI has a lot of new programs for, well, several different issues now. And then there's also a lot of, charitable donation, or charitable agencies that we have in the community for Christmas, for there's an agency that works with children in care or displaced children, and so they'll provide funds for children that fit into those categories that need anything, whether it's going to gymnastics or playing or whatever the kid, they would need a new bicycle, they don't have one, anything, they will provide funds for those kids that are either displaced or in state care. So there's lots of organizations in our community actually that are willing to help out.
And this is great. So I guess I didn't realize how extensive your work is, and it isn't just focused only, or doesn't only involve school and issues or things that are happening at school, but you're working with the children and the families.
Right.
And really all aspects
Right.
of
I think it's like Lisa said earlier, it's about getting the whole wraparound services. We're going to fix this problem at home so school will work too.
Okay. Yeah.
Try anyway.
Yeah,
We're gonna try.
Yeah, and I mean, it's great to, you can only do what you can do, but if you have the services or the programs, the connections, those processes in place, at least then they can be offered to the children, the parents, the families, and say, okay, here are the opportunities, here's what we can do if you would like us to help with these things. Where before, like you said, it might have been harder to get all of that together, bring it all together, and efficiently deliver that.
Yes, and certainly this was a great time to really be able to put this into place. Coming out of COVID, we all know that it's been crazy times for all of us, but we have a lot of families that haven't had access to some services, right? Just like all of us didn't have access to some things for a while. And so we also, I think, are seeing more requests or more people asking about how would they get this service or that service. So it was really beneficial for us also to really be able to put some of these things into place, because I feel like the number of, I don't want to say the needs have increased, but people really looking now to get some assistance. I feel like that has increased a bit. And so that's been super helpful too, to kind of just help with that, more people really asking for assistance maybe than did previously, because of all the things that have happened, the crazy things that have happened in the world. So
a few. Yeah,
right?
just a few. So is that how most I guess how it's initiated, mostly by people asking the schools, or talking to maybe the teachers or an administrator?
That's part of it. I think the other part of it is we're looking for those kids that aren't getting to school or aren't able to stay in school all day for whatever reason is going on, and kind of helping that issue. So attendance is a big red flag where we want to look at, like, okay, what is wrong? Why aren't we getting here? Is it transportation, or is it something more in depth, and how can we help this situation? So that's another one that we're just kind of looking at our numbers in general.
It's given us the opportunity to actively look at that and seek those students out in a different way too than we've been able to before. So.
And that's what I've noticed when organizations are properly staffed, when they have people in those positions, they're able to be proactive instead of just reactive. It seems in most cases when you're understaffed or when you don't have people in those key positions, it's very hard for other people to kind of take on those responsibilities and be proactive because they have all their roles and they're doing those to the best of their ability. So this is great that with these issues or in these areas that you, Jacqueline, can be that one that's proactive, and you're looking at some of these flags and not just saying, oh, okay, wow, we have problems here, okay, who has the time to do something, but you're the one that's kind of going after those things.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I can see very satisfying, very rewarding too, because when you're able to identify those things and help those children and families and connect them with the resources, the organizations or whatever it is, programs that can help them, and kind of whether it's just a little bit or something more significant. And I would imagine to the families and children, it's all significant. It's really important, and it makes them feel like there's people that care, and the school is doing everything they can. So it's great, and I think it's an example because from what I've seen, really everyone in the school district, all the teachers, just everyone in all the different departments, they all care. They all want the best for the students, but depending on how many people you have and the time and everything else, you're limited. So it's great seeing you in this position, Jacqueline, to where you can really fill these gaps and do this. How long has there been this need, would you say, Lisa, or has this been identified? Or
I would say the need has been there for as long as I've lived in Payson, probably longer. And I first moved here in 2008, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
But it's always a struggle of funding and people and resources and all of that. So I think it's just we've finally gotten to a place where we've been able to access some resources and to be able to move things around in a way to make that happen in an effective manner. And some of the challenge we face sometimes is we try to put positions out there, or we create, as we still are looking, we still have teacher positions that are open, right, and haven't been filled. So the other challenge for us here, being really in a small rural community, which I love living in, is access to professionals and people sometimes to fill those roles. I'm not sure how our timing got so lucky that we had 2 or 3 actually very qualified applicants, and we couldn't ask for more than what we were able to get with Jacqueline in terms of her skill set to really fill this role in the way that we envisioned it. And we really, no, it's true. That's what we got, and that's why I was so excited about this, because it's the truth. So not only did we kind of put that plan together to fill that role, but we were so lucky and fortunate to be able to get, to me, the exact right person we needed for that role. And that sometimes is a struggle, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm so happy.
That was so very sweet.
It's true.
See, now aren't you so glad you came on this morning? I know at first you're like, oh my gosh, on the radio.
Yes,
what is
I'm
this
very
gonna
happy
be
to
like?
be here.
Yeah, no, and so it sounds like it is definitely the most rewarding and fulfilling position you've held since being here in Payson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, well, hopefully you stay for a very long time and you're in this position for
I plan to.
a long time. Yeah, no, it is great, and it is encouraging to hear that as well, that there were multiple applicants, that really good and qualified applicants that you were able to choose from. So because that's usually not the case.
Not
it seems
always.
like Yeah,
Not always.
especially recently. So that is great. Well, anything else that you would like to share about the program? Anything we maybe left out or?
I don't think so.
I would just say that if there are people out there that have questions
Mhm,
or there's
okay.
something they want to know more about, they're welcome to call me at the Special Services Office and we can direct them accordingly or answer their question.
Okay.
Or they can call the high school directly and ask
Okay.
to leave a message for Jacqueline there. That's her home base. So
Okay. And what is your number with Special Services?
Special Services is 928-472-5800.
5800 472-5800. And again, you can ask for Lisa Evans.
Yep.
And Lisa is the Director of Special Services. And again, Jacqueline Shaw, the new school social worker. So thank you for everything you're doing for the children and in the schools. It's great. And thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for inviting us over today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you are so welcome. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Ashlyn, thank you for being here last day.
Thank you for having me. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, last day. That's Ron usually in the morning. No, but again, yeah, thanks for coming in. It's been great. And we have to still do something, though. You have to come back at some point to record the spot about the play.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, May 5th, 6th, and 7th, right? Quiet on the Set.
All
is
quiet on set.
All Quiet on the Set, the name of the play that Ashland wrote and is co-directing.
Yes.
So yeah, that will be happening, May 5th, 6th, and 7th, and we'll get more information to you guys on that. But now time to get back to the music with some ZZ Top, Heart, Stevie Nicks, and more. But first, an update from the National Weather Service.
As for Payson and surrounding areas, we now cast.
All right. There you go. You can